The news is here, and I have to say, I'm a little bit hyped myself. It's only a matter of time before Black Ops 1 and 2 return to modern consoles. And I'm hearing fantastic things from all sides. People are calling it great news. What I keep asking myself, however, is whether Treyarch is taking a huge gamble here. This is how I see it. Everybody remembers it. The great evenings of the golden age of Call of Duty and FIFA. I think it's fair to say that Call of Duty experienced a golden era between 2007 and 2012. The midnight launches, shared with the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, gave us some fantastic nights. Zombies with your friends. I can still remember Tranzit. Grinding for prestiges, let alone camos. When we think about that time, we think about a simpler time. It almost hurts me to talk about it. We can acknowledge that things started to go downhill for Call of Duty in the years that followed, with Black Ops 3 perhaps being the exception. We moved into games where skins became popular, Warzone and the Battle Royale aspect took over, and franchise fatigue started to become a real thing. And let's not forget the exosuits. Or is that just personal preference? I'll stay out of that discussion. Treyarch employees have openly said that there are concerns about fatigue within the franchise. Even Treyarch seems aware of the problem. Senior Director of Production Yale Miller admitted in an interview that he worries about franchise fatigue. According to him, the team would be lying if they said they weren't concerned about it. But is the choice they're making now actually a smart one? Why do companies keep returning to old brands? Just look at Fortnite. Epic Games has repeatedly tried to bring players back to old maps and old seasons. At first, it worked brilliantly. Player numbers exploded, and all over the internet, people talked about the return of the golden age. Yet that success turned out to be temporary. Over time, the hype died down, and players started looking for something new. That might be the biggest problem with nostalgia. Nostalgia sells, but only for a limited period of time. Companies often think people are longing for an old game, while players are sometimes longing for the period in which they played that game. Treyarch can bring Black Ops 1 and 2 back to modern consoles, but they can't bring back those evenings after school with your friends. They can't recreate the excitement of a midnight launch, and they can't make us 12 years old again. And this is exactly where I'm going with this. For example, the average Black Ops 2 player is no longer the same person they were in 2012. Our expectations have changed. The way we play games has changed. And perhaps most importantly, the way we play together has changed. But perhaps I'm completely missing the point here. That's why I think the return of Black Ops 1 and 2 is actually a much more interesting experiment than people realize. Not because we're going to find out whether these games are still good. We already know that. The real question is whether nostalgia is strong enough to bring back a feeling that may never fully return. I do have to add one nuance, though. I expect the return of these base games to play out differently. The difference is that these games are very different from the Call of Duty games we have today. While many nostalgic comeback projects simply offer an older version of the same product, the jump from modern Call of Duty to Black Ops 1 or 2 almost feels like switching to a different franchise. Back then, the focus was much more on simple progression, recognizable maps, and a multiplayer experience that wasn't constantly flooded with seasonal content, bundles, and live service elements. That's exactly why I think this re-release has a greater chance of succeeding than many other nostalgia projects. Maybe I'm thinking faster than I'm speaking. I can see a lot of opportunities for Treyarch here, but I can also see this going badly. How do you see it? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Thanks for listening.